I want to do something a little bit different here. I hope you guys will bear with me here. I've spoken to you a lot over this convention, probably too much. I've overstayed my welcome here at the podium, for sure. And I'd like to get a little bit of help from some of you here in the crowd. You know, we're an organization that tries to interact with all of you and to get your ideas and your input. And I feel like at a Motzei Shabbos program, especially at the 10th annual convention, I shouldn't be the only one standing up here giving you information, but rather trying to get some information from you. So if you don't mind, and I ask that you guys be sports and help me out, feel my pain of what it means to stand up here at the podium. But if you can humor me, if you will, to join me up on stage. If you don't mind, I'm going to walk around the crowd for a moment. Can I get a cordless mic here for a minute? Testing. Okay. If you could, again, I'm just going to walk around for a few minutes here to call on some people. If you could please help me with putting together a little bit of a panel here to help me here up on stage. We have Mr. Herzog. Okay, Shalom Uvracha. We met last week in Sanhedrin Mechevet, right? We did. So you made a long trip this week. If I could ask you to come help me for a minute up on stage. Can I get some chairs on stage? Get some chairs on stage, thanks. Who else here? Who else is going to volunteer? Who else is going to volunteer? Mr. Urbowski, can I ask you to join us? Come on, we were standing outside by the fire alarm together, you know. This is more than once, probably. Come. Okay, anyone else? Can I ask anyone else over here? 1 second. Can I ask Yoni? Yoni, could you join us up on stage? Yoni, come. Who do we have over here? Yoni's son-in-law is here. Oh, look at that. A guest just came tonight. No, 1 second. I asked him. Sorry. Yoni's son-in-law. Let's do eager because he just joined us here tonight. I want to put you to work right away, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, who's here? Who's here? Oh, he's good. You know, if you're going to volunteer him, then I'll volunteer you already. Yeah. Anybody who's volunteering over here? I'm not even telling you what I'm going to do over here. So it's, you know what? Let me ask you, what's your name? Moshe David, come. Can you help me up on stage? I need somebody younger. Not only Alta Kakas up here. Come on, let's go. No offense to the people on stage yet. I'll find some older people. Don't worry. Who else do we have? Who else do we have here? Let's see. No? Anyone else going to help us out on stage over here? Who's here? Who's that? What's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's going to volunteer? Ephraim, please come. Ephraim, come. Come, Ephraim. You want to be part of the show? Here we are. You know? Who's Mordechai? Where's Mordechai Gottlieb? No. Mordechai Gottlieb. Come. Okay, come. I think we have enough up here. I want to ask the following question. I hope you guys will help me out over here. First of all, a round of applause for these brave men. I just want you guys to feel that you're feeling my pain. You're feeling my pain about what it means to be up on stage. But truthfully, I want to ask you quickly what you do, just so we get familiar with, because I see that we have one end of the spectrum over here, if you will. And no, I'm not going there. I'm not getting that far. I was talking about him. What do you do? Moshe David, you said.
12th grade at Terravas.
Very nice. Yoni Zagatinsky.
Involved in Project Inspire.
Property management.
Attorney.
Oh no, now I'm nervous. Let me go back over here.
Now you're doubly nervous. Attorney.
You're sunk. Attorney.
Oh my gosh. Do me a favor. Could you switch seats over here? I can't handle 3 lawyers in a row. Actually, I'll talk to you guys over here. The truth of the matter is, the reason I wanted you up here is because I'm wondering if our message is correct in Project Inspire. Meaning, We've been telling the world for the last, 12 years. Ephraim, you know this as well as anyone else. Ephraim, by the way, is a board member of Project Inspire. We can give him a round of applause. And an attorney, right? We've been telling the world that Project Inspire's message is that you know less affiliated people. You meet them, you come in contact with them wherever you are. Hasidim and Motzei have shown us that you couldn't imagine that they lived even near non-from people. They've shown us that. Have you guys felt in your line of work, in your ongoing daily lives, mundane airplanes, situations at work, that you've come across kiruv situations that were easily acted upon? Who's an English teacher here? Does anyone want to volunteer?
2 weeks ago on Sunday morning, I actually had a meeting with Yossi, and I went from there with my wife to Pomegranate to do some shopping, and two fellas came up to me. They were hosting a Super Bowl party that night. Guy was holding a bag of chopped meat in his hand.
Pomegranate, like in Brooklyn, Pomegranate?
Heart of Flatbush, free parking, valet parking. Yeah, Pomegranate, yeah. And he wanted to know if it's kosher because he's hosting a Super Bowl party that night, and he doesn't see an OU on the package. So he wanted to know if he can use this meat at a Super Bowl party.
Ephraim, I want to tell you something. Everyone here up on stage had the same situation. Is that right? So I want to tell you that with some very brave wives and some very gutsy mother-in-laws, and in your case, a very gutsy mother, we set out to find out if people would actually act upon mundane situations in the heart of Flatbush. So with your permission, people, you guys were heroes, and you'll watch it for yourself. If we could please roll the tape of Project Inspire visiting Pomegranate on Super Bowl Sunday 2019. Let's roll the film. Here he is.
Right now, first walk in. First walk in.
Here it is.
Baseball cap.
Hi. You look Jewish. You mind if I ask you a quick question?
Wait till he's by the oranges, guys. And engage him.
Hey, bud. This is French, right? Because it says parve on it.
Parve, exactly. Parve means it's not meat or it's not dairy.
So why did you come to the store?
My friend said I should come here to shop for some Super Bowl party. They said I could find kosher here. I just want to know how to identify it.
Well, the whole store is kosher.
Anything that grows from the ground, whether it's fruit or vegetable, is kosher.
Oh, okay. I like your accent. Are you from Eastern Europe?
Yes.
I'm Russian myself.
So a friend of mine told me that I needed to be blessed. Is there some sort of blessing that...
Make the blessing on the food if you want.
I make the blessing?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. You want to know the truth, right? We don't mix meat and milk.
Okay.
That's how we're...
So I gotta call my family now and tell them no chicken parmesan.
Yes, that's them. That's them.
Okay, guys.
Engage.
Excuse me, sir. Do you know what the deli meats are for, like the ham and the pepperoni and stuff like that?
You're in the wrong place for ham and pepperoni. But I would recommend some of the other stuff here. It's quite good, actually.
You guys can wear this kosher.
So where can I get like kosher pizza from my buddies?
If you want, there's a store right across the street here. It's actually, I'm the owner of the store.
No way. So do you want to come over to our party and I can introduce you as like the CEO pizza maker? I'm Sam, by the way.
Mayor, nice to meet you.
You ever Talmud?
No. I mean, I'm Jewish, but I...
Gemara, it's Talmud. We'll introduce you to how to get married legally.
How to get married legally?
You need to say certain words.
And then you're just married.
Yeah, I'm saying.
That's it.
Ask everyone. Everyone's friendly over here. Ask whatever questions you have.
Okay. So they don't have any bacon here. That's not kosher?
No, everything is kosher.
So what does it mean that if it's kosher, like it has to come from
It's
a...
fake. It's fake bacon. It's
Okay.
not real.
Well, how does that taste? Does it taste normal?
I don't know. I never had real bacon.
Are you Jewish?
Okay. Yes, but we're not practicing. We're Eastern European.
Yeah, okay.
So there's like pork and everything.
So you're Jewish.
I am.
Are you Jewish, Omar?
Yes.
You guys Jewish?
Yes, but my family's from Eastern Europe, so they swallow pork down like it's chicken.
Now they do, you mean?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Torah Anytime?
No.
You can take classes. There's an organization called Aisha Torah.
Aisha Torah?
Yeah, Aisha Torah.
They have a website?
Yeah. Now, you know what? I think I can give you a card.
Oh, cool. Thank you, man.
One of the things I do in life is try to connect Jews to Judaism.
Why don't you do this, okay? Let's be in touch. I'm now on a mission to buy something for my wife. I'm here to buy some specific stuff. I'll call you later.
Say to Sam, okay, we gotta go back to Queens. Let's go.
We have to run back to Queens.
Where do you live in Queens?
I live in Forest Hills. I mean, that's, yeah.
Want to come to me for Shabbat meal, maybe?
Do you want to keep down my number? I can try to get you hooked up.
All right, what is it?
917?
Yep.
This is actually my mom's number.
You don't have a phone yet?
I don't.
12th grade.
Judaism, that's how it works.
Really? In Judaism, you don't get phones till you're 18?
You can call me and then I can try to hook you up with the right person.
And what's up with the herring, brother? Everyone's been telling me that I should gotta try herring.
I'm not into herring.
You're not a herring person? What about lox? Do you like lox? I love that stuff on a bagel.
Actually, we have a wonderful program. Go to a hotel for Shabbat.
Yeah.
But they have like people who are, you know, like guys like you with a lot of questions, and they have religious people. It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Really?
Yeah. Shani, my wife. Doug and Sam, asking a lot of very good questions about kashrut.
Have you ever been to Israel?
No.
We have groups going on a regular basis. It's just amazing. You gotta, it's like telling a blind person what a rainbow looks like.
Take my number.
And your name?
David.
Mr. David, Sam.
Sam, nice
Pleasure, brother. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. Could I come in for a hug?
Of course.
You're so helpful, man. Appreciate it. And I'm gonna definitely try your pizza. I'm gonna tell everyone I met the CEO of the pizzeria place, man.
You don't mind if I take down your name and number? And
No, that's
email?
fine. I'm always happy to give out my number to everyone.
Rabbi, you're awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's a pleasure. Hey, thank you so much.
Absolutely amazing. And absolutely amazing. Testing. Oh, no. This is a rebuttal now? Wait.
Does this mean Doug is not coming for Shabbos?
Doug, can I ask you to come up and accept the Freienberger's invitation for Shabbos, if you will? Doug's name is actually Shimmy. Shimmy is looking forward to joining you for Shabbos. We just told him he has to wait till after the convention. Shimmy, how you doing? You guys are amazing. Shimmy, I just wanted you to know something, Shimmy, and you'll back this up for me. Is that, back up here for a second so people can see us. Yes. Back up. Is that Shimmy and Sam, who was going to join us tonight, were so taken by your text message afterwards and by so many of you guys' follow-up that they, in fact, want to join you for Shabbos and want to join trips and would like to get more involved. This is true. And so therefore they were really blown away. We just held them back till after this convention, but they were really taken back. So thank you very much, Jimmy, for all this. Thank you. You guys will be in touch. Don't go anywhere yet. Not you. You could sit. I have questions about Kiruv to ask you also. But is it fair to say, though, that not everything was so straightforward? Not everything was so straightforward on this. You see, sometimes Shim and Sam can really, Doug and Sam, if you will, can really get out of hand. So there weren't always these amazing moments. So with your permission, we have an outtake video that we'd like to show you that is really a Kiruv primer, if you will. So ladies and gentlemen, let's roll the videotape of the outtakes from Project Inspire's trip to Pomegranate, not to be missed.
Awesome. This is gonna be exciting.
It looks good, yeah? I got the barbecue sauce, whatever the heck this is. But how do
know
I...
this is so high in cholesterol. You'll die from this. Who told you to buy this?
All right.
No, this is not pork rinds. This is.
But it looks like pork
it. Yeah, it's from chicken.
What makes...
Oh, like fried chicken
renderings from
skins?
the chicken.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that's
that's yummy. Have you had these before?
Yes, but not more than like cardiologist knows about it.
I was once told by an Israeli guy that like Israeli oranges aren't kosher.
That could be because in Israel, every 7 years, there's something called whatever.
All right, we got to get out. I got to get out, but I'll give you my number.
Yeah, go ahead. One second. I want to talk to you. One second, I'm not letting you go.
Food is inherently kosher.
Well, I'm only asking because one time
Unless it happens to be from Israel. If it's from Israel, I would avoid it for other reasons, nothing to do with its necessarily its kosher status, but it could have other issues. I might want to,
Yeah, because somebody once yelled at me because I was going to eat a piece of fruit, and they said, no, you can't eat it because it's not kosher.
It's not that we're anti-Semites and we don't buy stuff from Israel.
Right.
It's,
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, well, do I look like an anti-Semite?
No.
I tell you, there are times,
You're
though,
very sharply
it's
dressed,
tempting,
though. I thought you were like a doctor or a rabbi.
A doctor or a rabbi. Okay.
A lawyer.
There you go.
There.
Are you a lawyer?
I am. How can I help you?
That's awesome.
Hold on, I got something to around. Give him that awkward hug.
Dude, you're awesome. Thank you again, man. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
We'll be in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you again, man. You're awesome. Really, really awesome. Okay, thank you.
One of you guys need to ask to try on his yarmulke.
What you're wearing is, what's it called? It's a yarmulke?
Oh, that? Yeah,
Yes.
I thought you meant my jacket.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
I've actually never worn a yarmulke in my life.
Really?
Yeah. Would you like to trade me? You wear the corona, I wear your yarmulke. For a second, I've never worn a yarmulke. Have you ever worn one?
Only at like one bar mitzvah, maybe.
Yeah? I've literally never put on my head. Trade?
Shampoo recently?
This is brand new.
He did wash his
Are
hair.
we doing a full-time trade or are we doing a part-time?
No. I mean, you can take it back if you want. I just want to try it. I want to try it on. That's all.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Knock
Okay.
Knock yourself out.
I feel holier right now.
Looks good on you.
I feel like having a Corona.
Sam, you gotta try it. You gotta try it.
Sam, take a picture. Take a picture, Sam.
This is awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for our contestants here. You guys were absolutely amazing. The hardest part was for your wives to actually keep a secret from you this entire time.
She's walking home.
She's walking home is right. We have, okay. Anyway, I want to present you, courtesy of Pomegranate, a $25 gift certificate to Pomegranate of unhindered shopping at Pomegranate without anyone bothering you. There's a real gift certificate, and you can buy as many oranges as you'd like. And Grivenous. Thank you so much, all. Thank you for your wives. Thank you for your mother. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, shh. You never know what you'll get here at the Project Inspired Convention. I see some wives leaving from the back door. Thank you to all of you who are helpful in all this. And I want to give a special shout out to Guy Orman and Big Productions for pulling this thing off. The videos that you see tonight are from Guy and his entire team. Thank you for being on hand for that one. A few years ago, we embarked on a project what we called the Body and Soul Retreat. The Body and Soul Retreat's idea was brilliant. We sit here together, 1,100, and tonight probably closer to 1,300 people, and we teach ourselves and we inspire ourselves how can we involve non-frum Jews. And as you saw from the video, Ephraim Berger is attempting to invite people to a body and soul retreat. That retreat involves frum people bringing and inviting non-frum people to join us for a convention in a hotel. But we were looking for a draw for the non-frum person. How can we figure out how to get more non-frum people to want to join us for this weekend? And so Isaac Rose came up with the idea that we should partner together with the Worldwide Shabbos Project. As you all know, annually around Parshas Noach, Lech Lecha, sometime this year it's mid-November, there's a Worldwide Shabbos Project in which people celebrate Shabbat together all over the world. And he thought that if we would use this opportunity to get non-frum people to know about the Shabbos Project and invite them together for such a weekend, that would work. In fact, he was absolutely right. This past October on the Shabbos Project, there were 700 people, which is roughly 350 frum and 350 non-frum people came together for a beautiful Shabbos of unity. It was spectacular. Many of you were there. I was walking down the hallways on Friday of that weekend, and I met a fellow who was wearing a long frock, a long black coat. He looked a little bit out of place. I asked him, "What brings you here?" He says, "Well," I said, "Wait a minute, I remember you. I recognize you. When we invited Rav Noach Isaac Allbaum from Queens to come to the Project Inspire convention, you came along with him. You're his son." He said, "That's right. So what brings you here?" He says, "Well, at that convention, my wife signed up to learn with a partner, and here she is." To me, that made the entire Shabbos worthwhile, because it showed me that not only are we pairing people together, but we're giving them opportunities to allow these people to grow in a friendly, warm Jewish environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the generosity of the Gross family goes way beyond that, but they are again sponsoring this coming Body and Soul Retreat, November 15th through the 17th. And we hope to grow it and be closer to 900 plus people even this year, and to keep growing and to keep having people in the room just like you bring more and more non-frum people into the fold. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the Body and Soul Shabbos Project Retreat 2018.
This is a J-Inspire Body and Soul weekend, which has brought together Jewish people from all different backgrounds.
It's good for a person who's Reform, Conservative, or Orthodox.
Being more connected to each other, being more connected to our history, being more connected to our Jewishness.
It was my first experience celebrating a Shabbaton.
This learning process has a huge impact on my life.
You have really every type of Jew, right? You have your streimels, your black hats, your knit caps, your black kippot, but we're all Jews.
I think the goal is really to meet people, to foster relationships, and to see if we can all help each other.
It's not just about the Shabbos that we had, but this is just the beginning. We're a family, we're in it together, and we're learning and growing and sharing.
For such a short amount of time to gain so much is really valuable. Thank you.
It is awesome.
Incredible.
I really loved everything.
I would come back in a second.
It's going to change your life, no question.
We look forward to joining you and to have you join us at this year's Body and Soul Shabbos Project Retreat. As you saw, November 15th, Registration is already open on your way out. There are flyers. You can sign up. Once again, you can't just register for this convention. You need to bring someone. So start thinking for the rest of the session before you sign up outside. At the Project Inspire convention, you meet many extraordinary people. You saw throughout the Shabbos, you saw the videos of previous conventions. We've met many, many inspiring people. Our next presenter is not an exception. Justice Richard Bernstein is a Supreme Court judge who advocates on behalf of disabled people. He is an avid runner who completed 22 marathons, including 13 New York City marathons. He is also a frequent visitor of the Aish Torah World Center and Essentials classes, which he himself has deemed life-changing. He made the trip special to join us for Shabbos from Detroit, Michigan, to be here with us and to inspire us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to introduce to you the Honorable Justice Richard Bernstein.
A writer once penned that during times of tragedy, the streets of heaven are filled with angels. We ask ourselves, what kind of a God are you? You take from us the kind, the warm, the good-natured, the innocent. What kind of a God are you? Yes, the streets of heaven are filled with angels. I got a call one morning from a wonderful young mom. She said, Richard, I'm reaching out to you because I know you care about people with special needs and those who are disabled. Help me to understand how I can follow all the rules. I can do all that is asked. And yet, God would give me a child with severe special needs. Tell me, what kind of a life is my newborn going to have? Is he going to have friends? Is he going to go to school? Will I ever become a grandparent? What will happen when I'm no longer here to care for him? I go to my friends' homes and they're filled with life and energy and vitality. What kind of a home am I going to have? When do you think my family will ever have an ordinary life? And when do you think we will reach a point where we will no longer have to suffer? It was immediately after my election to Michigan's highest court that I remember having a conversation with some other judges about what qualities must a person have to be a jurist when making decisions that affect people's entire lives. Their freedom, their education, their environment. What qualities must a person have to render such a verdict? And people said, oh, it's your academics. It's your intellectualism. It's your ability to research and to write. And I remember saying, none of those things allow for you to make such decisions. And when asked, what is the quality that matters the most? I responded by saying, it is our life experiences. Life isn't always about being happy. It's not always about smiling. It's not always about finding joy. Hashem gives us our life experiences for a purpose, for a mission, and for a reason. But he asks us to use the experiences that he gives to have an impact, to create change. So I remember telling this wonderful young mom, there will be nothing about your life and your family's life and your child's life that will ever be ordinary again. For you simply have to believe that you were sent here to be extraordinary. And I don't believe that Hashem would ever create any spirit or any soul with the idea that they are sent here to suffer, but there are some who do have to struggle. And it's through that struggle you come to find identity. It is through that struggle you come to find mission. It is through that struggle you come to find purpose. It is through that struggle that you come to know, understand, and truly appreciate Hashem. We ask ourselves, the eternal question, which goes back to the book of Job, which is, why is it that if Hashem is so good, he allows for such suffering? Why is it that bad things happen to otherwise such good people? An easy life does not always correspond to a good one. So often we will face setback, struggle, pain, and hardship, and people will come to us and they will say, I hope that you make a full recovery. But in life, for many of us, that's simply not possible. The loss is too great. The setback is too grand. The pain is too much. When we reach those points, we can't focus on always recovering. The key is to adapt. Aish teaches us how to adapt to a new life, to a new world, to a new experience. Now, I have been blessed, as you've heard, to have the opportunity to complete 22 marathons and a full Ironman competition. For those of you who are unfamiliar, the Ironman is a 2.4-mile swim, followed by a 112-mile bike, to be completed by a 26.2-mile run. The rules of the competition are quite simple. If you stop, if you rest, if you take a break, you run the risk of missing a cutoff. If a cutoff is missed, you will be immediately disqualified from the competition. If you finish at 12:05 instead of 12 o'clock, it is like you were never even there. So I invite you to picture, if you would, the feeling you would have as you dive into a frigid body of water. The water temperature that morning was 55 degrees. Imagine swimming in total darkness, having no idea where you started or where you're going or where you are, getting kicked in the face by all the other competitors, and having others become entangled and ensnared in the rope that connects you to your guide. And as you become entangled, the rope becomes constrictive. And as it constricts, it starts taking you below the surface. You try to get oxygen, you try to get air, but it becomes impossible. Aish teaches us that at moments like this, you come to find that the body is mortal and the body is infirmed. But you also come to realize that the spirit and the soul can rise and reach levels that you never dreamed or ever thought was possible. We also come to find that life can change at an instant. It can change without notice or without warning. It was a beautiful day in New York Central Park. I was walking in the pedestrian lane that serves as a circumference. August 13th, 85 degrees and sunny. I had done 17 marathons and an Ironman. I was in prime condition. I had used athletics to challenge my blindness, to find my strength, to find my resilience, to allow for me to have a sense of identity. And as I walked, a bicyclist was traveling at a speed of an excess of 35 miles an hour. And due to such a high rate of speed, he could no longer maintain his bike, and in doing so veered into the pedestrian lane where I was walking and struck me directly in the back. Now, a 35-mile-an-hour impact is catastrophic. It required over 10 weeks of hospitalization at Mount Sinai Hospital. Life is never about the big things. It is always about the little. You remember how it felt to have the chance to not be able to use the bathroom or take a shower. You remember missing what it was like to sleep through the night without having to writhe in an indescribable level of pain. People would come to visit, and I would ask them, so tell me, where are you going to go when you leave Mount Sinai? And they tell me in a mundane, rudimentary fashion that, oh, I'm going to go back to the office or have some dinner, pick up my dry cleaning, and always say, those are the things that I crave. Those are the things I dream about. Those are the things that go to life at its essence and life at its core. It is never the big things. It is always the little things that make us who we are. And I ask each and every one of you here today to celebrate every victory, every achievement, no matter how small or insignificant you might think it is. I ask you to find joy in it. In my situation, I celebrated the fact that I could sit up in bed. I celebrated the fact that I could use a walker. And I celebrated the fact that I could reach the nurse's station at the end of my ward. Now, in the last remaining moments that I have with you here today, I share with you one last story. It was a short time ago, and it was time for the New York City Marathon. This would be my 18th marathon, but the first after a catastrophic injury. Running through the streets of New York with a shattered hip and crushed pelvis was going to be quite difficult. But in life, there are certain things that just have to be done. So we ran to the streets and approached the 59th Street Bridge at mile 18, began running up First Avenue. The pain was becoming so severe and so intense that I remember reaching up to the heavens and praying to Hashem that he would allow for me to finish this race without losing consciousness, without passing out. I believe it's okay to be angry with Hashem. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to express your discontent. It's okay to have these emotions because they're human and they make us who we are. It's more than appropriate. What you come to find at certain points where the pain is so intense, that's when your miracle will happen. For that's when you will find a sense of peace. Peace with your new life. Peace with your new body. Peace with your new circumstance. But most importantly, you're able to make your peace with Hashem. Why is it that bad things happen to otherwise such good people? Why is it that there are some who have to know a greater struggle or greater hardship than others? Aish teaches us. And I believe the answer goes something like this. At a certain point in life, you can't spend your time and your energy and your effort focusing on how you're going to get over it. For you come to realize that there is simply no other alternative but to just get on with it. For we learn through our studies and we learn through our spirituality. It's those who know struggle, hardship, and pain who will do what is hard and achieve no less than what is great. We must live our lives like a great story. Within any novel, there will always be chapters. Chapters of pain, setback, frustration, and loss. But it's only through those chapters you can come to find hope, joy, and triumph. For the angel came upon Jacob deep into the night, and there existed a tremendous battle that raged until the sun rose. And at that time, as the story goes that we all know so well, the angel blessed Jacob, but gave him a new name, the name of Israel, which, as we know, means one who struggles with God. But Jacob was wounded after the battle. He lived his life with a shattered hip and would walk with tremendous pain. It is only through that struggle and through that pain and through that hardship that he was able to relate, connect, understand, and empathize. It was only through his experiences that he could lead a people and be the founder of a nation. If I hadn't had the experiences I have been able to have, I wouldn't be as good a justice. I wouldn't be as kind. I wouldn't be as merciful. I wouldn't be as understanding. Our life experiences are given to us for a reason. Let us celebrate the lives that we have, for the good and for the bad. But let us use the experiences that we are blessed with in the way that Hashem intended for them to be used. Let us celebrate life for who we are, the way that we're created, and what we are sent here to do. But most importantly, let us celebrate the idea that, yes, our bodies are mortal, and for some of us they are infirmed, but it is our spirits and it is our souls that truly know no bounds. And with that, let us say Amen.
He knows. Thank you, Judge Bernstein, for coming all the way to inspire us here. This past Tisha B'Av, I had the great honor and privilege to work on a project that was truly life-changing for me. Together with Danielle Haas, we set out to try and get a glimpse into the extraordinary life of an extraordinary man, Rav Meir Shuster Zatzal. After the film was complete, and I had returned after the summer, I went to invite Rabbi Esther Schuster to the Project Inspire convention. She had not been to America in a long time, and she asked me, what date is it? Of course, I took out my phone, I checked in my calendar, and I told her it's February 22nd through the 24th. She says, when does that fall out in Hebrew? That took a different telephone. And I told her, in fact, it fell out Yud Zayin Adar Aleph. Her face went white. That is Rav Meir Shuster's yahrzeit. Today, as we stand here, I can tell you that tens of thousands have watched The Man at the Wall. Hundreds of thousands have been inspired by the life of Rav Meir Shuster. But we learned a lot more from that film. Rebbetzin Schuster, we learned what it means to love another Jew. We learned about what it means to go beyond your comfort zone. We learned about what it means to take responsibility for Klal Yisrael. And we learned what it means to be Hashem's Shaliach. But on top of everything, we learned that this was not just the job of Rav Meir Schuster, but in fact the job of every single Frum Jew. And so tonight, we've compiled a short tribute film on the yahrzeit, on the 5th yahrzeit of Rav Meir Schuster Zatzal. I present to you a tribute that gives us all the lesson, teaches us all the lesson, that we have the ability to change the face of Klal Yisrael.
If I have to think about how many great people I met in my lifetime, he was one of the greatest people that I knew. His accomplishments were unbelievable.
He couldn't talk. He was shy. Meir Schuster is going to go up to complete strangers and then talk them into going to yeshiva or spending. I would say it's impossible. He was so naturally an introvert.
I remember that when I saw the Kotel, I was approached by a tall man who asked me the question, are you Jewish? And would you be interested in having a Shabbos meal with a religious family, with an Orthodox family? And I guess the rest is history.
He was not charismatic, but something in his eyes was so sincere, like sparkling, like family, that you trusted.
He was on a mission. He was driven to relight the flame of every neshama that was in jeopardy or possibly could be lost. He was going to spread as much Torah and light to the world as possible. And he knew that this was his mission, and he certainly believed it was ours as well.
There was no ego. There was no shield between him and the people. It was just him saying, this is what I want you to do, this is what you need to do.
Her sister didn't see up people, he saw the Shabbos. It didn't matter what color their hair was, it didn't matter how many earrings they had, it didn't matter what they looked like. He wanted them to give them an opportunity to grow. He didn't see where they were coming from, he looked where they could go.
Rav Meir was, in one word, real. He was authentic. He sincerely and really cared and loved every single Jew, and that came through in the few words that he spoke.
He was driven by love of God and love of Torah and love of Am Yisrael. And if you care about people, you just want to go out there and share it. And that's what he was doing.
It wasn't about the numbers. It was really, there was something greater than himself. And he was just Hashem's Shaliach.
I once asked Rav Meir Schuster, how many people did you approach? How many people do you think you sent to the yeshivas? And he was very hesitant to answer me. And he said, I don't know. I said, you have to have some type of idea. I said, do you have a number? He says, more than 5,000. One-on-one, I don't think anybody had a bigger effect.
My wife Robin and I have 8 children, of whom 5 are married. Those 5 married children have resulted in, at this point, Leah and her 13 grandchildren. It was really the dedication and the warmth and the Mesiras Nefesh of Rabbi Schuster.
We went to visit the Schusters and we brought all the kids. I said, these are your grandchildren. you know, it's all ripple effect from one tap.
When my first child was born, Miss Schuster made a knitted a sweater for him, which we still have, which all of my kids wore, and which is a prized possession.
He taught us that you just have to care, and if you don't care enough, then that's something that we have to work on, and that we can use him as an example.
When I just look at him, you stand in awe of a man like this, what he could accomplish. Could you? And I always thought to myself, could you imagine if you had such a passion, you also have other things going with it? I mean, how much could be accomplished? I mean, what are you going to tell the Rebbeinu Shalom after 120 years? Where were you? Where was I? I mean, what we could have done.
I was a shy person. But, sometimes you have to do something, you do it. That's all. Here is the most important thing in the world today. Because we're losing so many. It's the most important thing. So that it's imperative that you be curious. To reach out, to try to help somebody.
Everyone. My name is Yosef Chaim Weil. Approximately 45 years ago, Rabbi Meir Schuster Zatzal tapped my grandfather Zadie Drebin on the shoulder at the Kosel. Since then, we have already 3 generations of Shomrei Torah Mitzvos. Me and my brothers go to yeshivas, and my sisters go to Beis Yaakov. I even have my brother Meir standing next to me, who was named after Rabbi Meir Schuster Zatzal. But we are not alone. Behind me are dozens more, whose families were touched by Rav Meir and whose lives were transformed into discovering Hashem and becoming close to Him. At this time, Rebbetzin Schuster, on behalf of all the people standing behind me and on behalf of my entire family and thousands of others, I want to thank you for your selfless dedication and Mesiras Nefesh in allowing and supporting your husband in this important work and helping to make this all happen. May all of us and all the people affected by your family be a tremendous zechus for you and your entire family. Thank you.
On the yahrzeit of Rav Meir Tzvi ben Rav Moshe Chaim Schuster Zatzal, may these families and the thousands and thousands more be a tremendous chus for your entire family. Rebbetzin Schuster, I thank you again for joining us here and for being mechazik us. We all We all got the message here. We understand that Rav Meir's message was one of taking responsibility for Yidden around the world, and we all sitting here got that message. Be sure that we will continue the legacy, make him proud, and continue to be a schus for him, for you, and your entire family.
It's more than just a song. It's like it's
Give me all to know that I belong. In the end, I'll reach out for you and take your hand. Tati, my king, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me, ever let go of me.
What's the meaning behind the lyrics and the song of Tati, My King?
It's more than just a song. It's like a tefillah. It's like a perfect way to just talk to Hashem.
One night I was sitting with my guitar and I was trying to think of where I was in my relationship with Hashem. The thoughts of how Hashem is my king came into my head. Hashem can't do anything. He is our king. There's nothing beyond his will. But I felt like I was missing something. And after a little bit of thinking, I realized it was the father part that we all have with Hashem. And he loves every single Jew. With those two thoughts, the concept of Tati, my king came out.
How would you guys connect the song and Waterbury Mesivta?
The song is a lot about expressing and being able to talk to Hashem and being okay with shortcomings and being okay with being vulnerable. And I think that's what the yeshiva is about, to know you still have a connection with Hashem. You can still turn to Tati, my king. You can still turn to your father and plead, don't ever let go of me, no matter what.
As some of you guys already know, we have a Project Inspire convention coming up in which more than 1,000 people are going to come together and try to figure out how best to inspire other people to connect to Hashem. What message do you think the song gives those people in terms of understanding how to connect people to Hashem?
God is not far away from us. Like, we feel like God is some entity up in the heavens. I think that you hear Tati, my king, Father, I plead. It's really something that's very attainable.
No matter who you are, no matter how far you are, how close you are, everyone could get close to Hashem and everyone belongs somewhere.
Tati, my king is a song that is all about connection with Hashem. And that is what all of you are doing at Project Inspire, helping people connect with Hashem and find that connection with Hashem. And tonight we'd like to dedicate this song to all of you at Project Inspire.
I was told to speak to you, Hashem. Maybe you can tell me who I am. I've been lost too long to know where I belong. In the end, my only hope is that you'd hold my hand. How am I supposed to see your path? With so many questions I have to ask. Now I'm standing here alone, I'm losing hope. And in the end, my tears are falling to you, Hashem. So Tati, my king, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me, ever let go of me. I need you to realize that I'm lost in my life. So pick me up, help me to let go of my and Tati, my king.
with you, Hashem.
Starting to see now who I am.
Starting to see now who I am.
I've been lost before I know, but
Here I stand, holding your hand,
taking part in your plan.
now I'm walking down your path. Even with the questions I have to ask, it gives me hope to know that I belong. In the end, I'll reach out for you and take your hand. I see my King, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me, ever let go of me. I see my King, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me, ever let go of me. I'm trusting you will be so kind. I'll follow your purpose, don't let go of my hand. I see my King, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me, ever let go of me. I see my King, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me, ever let go. See my King, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me, ever let go of me. I see my King, Father, I plead, ever let go of me, ever let go of me. Starting to realize that you will be so kind, and I'll follow your plan, just don't let go of my hand. I see my King, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me, ever let go of me.
Thank you, Waterbury Mesivta, for joining us here tonight. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't forget to redeem your pledge cards outside. A good Tavach. Enjoy the Malava Malka. Thank you for joining us.